Hello and welcome to episode number 700 of Smart Podcast Trashy Books. I'm Sarah Wendell, and my guest today is Amanda Matta. Amanda is a debut author. Her book is coming out in 2027. She is a media commentator, a royal analyst, and an art historian. Now, I have mentioned Amanda before, specifically her podcast, Art of History, which I love. In each episode, she focuses on one particular piece of art and explains the history, the context, the symbolism, and even gives details about how it was made. I really like this show, and I thought, hang on, why not have Amanda Matta give the Art of History treatment to some classic old school romance covers? It was very fun. I'll spoil it right now. It was terrific. It's big fun. I'm so excited to share it with you. We also discuss royal watching, racism, influencing, commentating on popular culture, Henry VIII's codpiece, art history, and more. As I mentioned, this is our 700th episode. Yay! And it will be both video and audio. Now, the audio will be available on your regular podcast feeds. If you are listening to this episode because it arrived in your queue, hello there. This episode will include both of us discussing and describing the covers in question. However, on the video, you get to see both of us, and more importantly, you'll see all the covers. There will be a link in the show notes should you wish to watch it on YouTube, and I hope that you will. The new software I was using to edit the video was a bit exasperating and also very fun, and I'm still working on that learning curve, so I hope you enjoy it. And speaking of YouTube, did you know the podcast has a YouTube channel? Totally does. It's true. Each new episode is automatically uploaded. So if you prefer your podcasts on the tube, we have got you covered. Also, between us, this channel is brand spanking new because I had to recreate it after YouTube deplatformed my last one with no explanation. I am presuming bitches are to blame, but I can't prove it. The name bitches, not like actual bitches. Like, I'm not calling anyone at YouTube a bitch. I'm just saying, the word bitches is probably the reason. So anyway, I would appreciate it very, very much if you would be so kind as to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, link in the show notes. And if we hit 100 new subscribers, Amanda and I will live broadcast something very fun and extremely silly to thank all of you. Most of all, thank you for being part of the podcast community and helping us reach 700 episodes. The show is here because you are here, and this is a massive milestone. Thank you very, very much. I also have a compliment this week, which is my favorite. Okay. My compliment this week is for Gillian S. Gillian, if there was a trophy for the most excellent French fries, the greatest hugs, the most infectious laughter, and unparalleled style, you would win it every time, and all your friends would be nominating you. If you would like a compliment of your very own, have a look at patreon.com/smartbitches. Our Patreon community is the reason that there are no dynamic ads before or after the show. With listener support, I was able to turn off all of the dynamic ads, the one you hear immediately before or after. Sometimes there's more than one. I turned them off to avoid ads for ICE and other right-wing propaganda. So instead of Patreon offering ad-free episodes, our Patreon community made every episode free of dynamic ads for everyone. Thank you. In addition, Patreon support helps me procure more issues of Romantic Times, learn software that is kind of annoying but also useful, keeps the show going, and ensures an artisan handcrafted transcript by Garlic Knitter. Hi, Garlic Knitter. Your support means a lot. And if you're curious about subscriber benefits, there is a collection at Patreon of our bonus content, and I will be adding new samples soon. I do love a sample. If you would like to join our Patreon community, it would be awesome if you did. Have a look at patreon.com/smartbitches. And if Patreon support is not in the cards, might I ask you to leave a review for the show where you listen, or just, tell everyone you know. That helps too. So are you ready for episode 700? I am very ready to share it with you. I'm so excited. On with the podcast, me and Amanda Matta and some classic old school romance covers, which some of you helped me select.
I am Amanda Matta. I am a royal commentator, but an accidental one. I stumbled into this space about 4 years ago when Harry and Meghan went on Oprah, and we all had thoughts. And my explainer for how I got into this line of work is I had no one in my real life to share these thoughts with. So I made a TikTok, and boy, did I come out of the gate running. The subject of my inaugural TikTok was who in the royal family was racist about baby Archie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
That's not even just the deep end. That's like, wow, here's the middle of the ocean. That's where I'm going to start.
Yeah. I had no idea because I wasn't really in the royal watching spaces before that. I love watching the royals, but I did it at home in the private of my own home before that. I had no idea how crazy it could get. And was going to get, because that was really the beginning, the outset of the cuckoo bananas land that royal watching has turned into in the past 5 years. So
I've said this before. I have always been fascinated with the language about the British royal family because it is a microcosm representation of how we talk and manage and negotiate with colonial pasts, racist pasts, wealth disparity. The way that the royal family in England is so protected and like they'll just make up whatever the hell they want to justify that narrative. That is like a microcosm of exceptionally powerful propaganda, and it is everywhere now.
Yeah, and not only the royal family making up stuff, the press doing it for them with this not so invisible contract anymore. It's right out in the open.
I'm in Maryland and I can see it from here.
Yeah. I say this all the time. It is because monarchy is still a system of government. It's not just Kate Middleton in a coat dress. It's never just a coat. People's attitudes towards the monarchy really are a reflection, like you said, of their worldview, like conservative, traditional versus progress, change, like that. It's a microcosm of what's playing out in the world on a global scale. So yeah, when you say to me, I don't know, not you, when someone says to me, oh, there's just something about Meghan, I can't put my finger on it. I didn't jive with her. I liked her in the beginning. I was rooting for her, but I'm just like, there it is.
It's racism. Yeah. White supremacy.
All of the isms. When people say, what was wrong? Like, what was the problem? Where did it all go wrong with me? I'm like, name your ism: racism, classism, colonialism, xenophobia. Misogyny.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's all of them. So anyway, I dove right in with that. And now I'm in my 4th year of royal commentating. I'm writing my own first book.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's forthcoming from 10 Speed Press in spring of 2027. I'm delivering the manuscript in a few months, but they print in the UK. So there's like a little bit of a delay, but always. And the world of publishing, don't even get me started right now. But yeah, so that's forthcoming. I also do some podcasts in addition to TikTok and Instagram.
I am aware.
I co-host an Royal News podcast with Meredith Constant, who is another lovely commentator. She's more into the newsy side of things, and my jam has always been history and culture and fashion and art. So we meet up once a week, and it's a fabulous time if you want to dissect royal media narratives. And then I also have an art history podcast, which is my baby. You're jumping up and down. It is. I'm
bouncing in my seat because I really love the show. Anyway,
thank you. I think I was like a year into doing royal commentary, and I had built my platform up to a certain point, and I was like, what do I want to be doing with this platform? And I have 2 art history degrees, and it was a pandemic and the museum industry collapsed. And I said, here's a way I can use my art history degree finally. So the art history podcast, also in its 4th year. I love it so much. I've had to scale it back over time because, like I said, writing a book, but I will never let it go, like ever. I love that show so much.
That's why I like it, because I can tell how much you're having a good time.
Yeah, it's just me and a mic. Like, I don't have a production team. I have a network, but they just really put ads in the middle. It's just me writing, recording, editing.
Look at my production team. That's my sound assistant, my cat.
She is.
Yeah, I hear you. It's just me too.
I love it. It's, I think, the best way to create content, because not just being a control freak, but you can say whatever you want. You can make whatever jokes you want. I've recorded with some shows where there are producers on the call and they go off of scripts. And I'm just like, I'm so deeply uncomfortable right now. Like, that's not my style at all. Kudos to anyone who like has gotten to that level. I really admire you for your work ethic and getting to that point. I just feel like it would be a double-edged sword for me.
I will script my intros, but it's mostly bullet points, so I know I don't forget something. I don't know if I could do like a scripted narrated podcast. Mine, like you, has always been me and a mic and maybe a guest or my frequent co-host, Amanda, other Amanda.
Yes.
Lots of Amandas. And I get it. The idea of, well, I'm interested in this and I'm going to talk about it and somebody else must be interested.
Come along for
That's
the
how the
ride.
internet works. So here I am with a website and I have a blog and a podcast about romance novels. So I understand what you mean.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for me with art history, I was looking for art history podcasts during the pandemic, but I'm very picky in the format that I like to listen to. I'm not a big interview listener. I've gotten better at sitting through an interview, especially when it's women talking to women.
Yes.
But I've noted that men talking to men, I cannot do. I can't sit through an episode like that.
My biggest problem is that sometimes, like I'm listening to you and you are listening to me, and we're actively listening and responding to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas there are a lot of podcasts, and it's not just by gender, but this is definitely a habit with male hosts, where they're just waiting for their turn to talk. It's like two people are having conversations at each other, but they're not actually talking to each other. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that either.
They have their talking points. And I don't know if it's something with like the rise of AI, like spitting out a script or something. They have these one-liners they want to get in. And I've noticed that like over the years as well. It's just like, this is not a conversation I would I would participate in. I do not want to sit and listen to it.
No, it's like,
but
people think out loud. I don't want to do that either.
I don't have that problem with this show or my own.
Yay!
We're winning.
So before I forget, I want to make sure you're aware of Trashy McMillan Cottom, right?
No, I'm not familiar with her.
Okay. Trashy McMillan Cottom is a sociologist. She's a MacArthur Fellow, and she is, I think, currently at, I want to say UNC. She's a chaired professor of sociology. She wrote a book about predatory for-profit higher ed. And she also talks a lot about class. Now, she's looking at society as a Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she wrote a really good article about, I think it was during the period of like, where the hell did Kate go? Where she talks about watching the royal family is like celebrity watching through mason jar glasses, because it's all about class. And her thesis is that when things are chaotic, we cling to class because that reassures us of our place. And since the UK, especially the English, are fucking fetishizing class, like it's their most subtle, comprehensive, nuanced societal like delineation. When times are chaotic, people start grabbing onto their class structure. Who is higher than them? Okay, so if the people who are higher than them are still there, then they are still higher than the people they feel superior to, and they can start, they can continue to punch down. It's all very much reassuring yourself that you are where you are because the people who you consider above you are still above you. And the way that informs so many things, both and in the US, class is education. That's our message was you move up in class by getting educated, which is now why there's all these obstacles to anybody who's not a white guy getting into college, funding, schools, support, all of that. All of that is because our education and class systems are connected. Her talks on this are incredible. I actually recorded one of her Instagram lives like a fucking creeper because she's talking about this. I'll send it to you. It is like, I've watched it 10 times and
please.
My mind goes, anyway.
And you plugged her book, Lower Ed. It's on my reading list. It's so funny because we were just in Ireland and actually one of our taxi drivers said basically that same thing. He said, I love America, because we said, we're American. He asked where we were from. I love America. Everyone's the same. Everyone's in a pool together.
Buddy, no.
He
so
had the right spirit.
Yeah.
But he was directly comparing it to their neighbors in the UK. There is that class system and everyone knows their place. You're absolutely right. And it's comforting in a way, I guess, to those sorts of people who really do care about class, but then it could also so easily be threatening, which I think brings us back to Meghan, which as so many things do, it all really can come back to Meghan. People sometimes get up my butt, why are you bringing Meghan into this story about Will and Kate on vacation? It's like, well,
this poor woman,
she's right there because it's right there. And if we are looking to pick apart media narratives and worldviews, I have to do it. I'm so sorry.
Right there. No, you can't ignore it. Ignoring it is part of the problem. Pretending like it's not happening is part of the problem. Right. And like I said, it's soothing to have your biases confirmed. And then once your biases have been soothed, it's really easy to just push you into other biases. Like, oh, yes, absolutely. And if you think about it, the clearest illustration is how before Meghan, everyone was like subtly and not so subtly picking on Kate's middle class.
Parents had a paved driveway. That's a real narrative.
How dare they not have?
It was so crass of them.
And if they had put down gravel, it would have been the wrong size.
Right.
Like, wouldn't have understood
the wrong grit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Precisely. Yeah. You have all of these little nipples. She jumped her place. And then Meghan came in. It was like, okay, now was she really like, we don't even have a way to recognize this.
Too many isms. We can't. For me, I'm coming up from, I'm really bootstrapping my way into royal commentary. Most of the royal commentators and reporters have immense amounts of access and connections.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I'm in an interesting transition period because I'm starting to get quoted. I'm a contributor to Us Weekly. That's like where you can usually find me in the royal headlines. If you open to the...
I'm sorry. You're
I know.
Commentator to you. Hell yeah. Congratulations. That's massive.
Thank you. I can't believe it either. So if you open to the cover story, you'll usually find like royal expert Amanda Matta. I'm like, I'm not an expert. I just I know the system. I've looked into it quite a bit over the years, but I get some flack sometimes because I am so vocal about Meghan. And now I'm mostly commenting on Kate and William and the children and Charles and Camilla. And it's like, well, some people will look at that and say, you turned tail. Now you're shilling for the palace. And I find that so fascinating because it's like, no, royal news has always been royal news. And that's where I'm interested in looking. And I don't think there's anything wrong with a quote unquote woke person or a progressive voice kind of being inside that commentary space.
Are you kidding? Yeah.
Because that's the best way to change these attitudes and combat these worldviews from inside. I actually just saw Kamala Harris was on, it couldn't have been Colbert because Colbert's done a talk show where she was talking about...
Colbert is on the air through 2026, or did he get taken off the air?
I'm not sure. It might have been Colbert. It was very early this morning.
His show is allegedly supposed to run through spring 2026, but the way he's been carrying on, he really is just like, fucking I dare you, bro.
I wanted to say it was Colbert. It must have been. So she was talking about not wanting to run for governor again because the system is broken and she doesn't want to participate in that system right now. And she was reflecting on, going into the field of prosecution and her family, like really questioning being a prosecutor. And the thing she said that stuck out to me was like, I can't change the system if I'm on the outside. Like if we're on bended knee, like just pleading, banging on the door, changing the system, that's not helpful. That's not going to be constructive. And I think the same can be said if we're looking at royal news, royal media as a microcosm of the global stage. Like for that, you got to kind of be on the outside. You got to be the person writing these histories, illuminating what's going on in order to see progress.
Well, I have some bad news for you.
Oh, boy.
You are very likely going to be a threat to white supremacist narratives, specifically, yay, royalty. Because, personally, I think royalty is a human rights violation, and this particular one is a white supremacist prop. But also, you're going to be a threat to established media in the UK, and they don't like that.
Yeah, Richard Eden. Richard Eden for the Daily Mail.
Good.
He has a beef with me.
Somebody pees in his Cheerios like every morning. This guy is so unhappy.
It's ridiculous.
You just smoke a joint and sit down.
He loves to call people that do exactly that, challenge the system, Meghan cheerleaders. So in my merch store, you can get a Meghan's Cheer Squad t-shirt if you consider yourself a Meghan cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I am relentlessly fascinated by this and I could talk to you for hours, but I did bring you here for a very nefarious purpose.
I'm ready. My body is ready.
So please tell me a little bit about your degrees and how you got into art history, because this is a really interesting, but also, as you noticed, vulnerable field right now.
Yes.
To go and see the art, you have to go into a place, and sometimes going into a place means exposure. And now those places are being underfunded or eliminating their funding. So it's already even more precarious. Please tell me how you got into this field. Like, what is your experience?
Well, so I was an art kid growing up, but I was also, I was raised in like a very economically conservative family. So I never even for a moment entertained the thought of like studying studio art. I love painting. I'm an oil painter. But
Ooh.
I never really thought seriously about, hey, like I could actually go to art school. It had to be channeled into a more constructive, more academic sphere. And don't get me wrong, I loved my program. I loved the degree I got, but that's how I got into it. So yeah, I live in Pennsylvania. I was looking at online programs junior year of high school, as you do. And Juniata College here in Pennsylvania actually has one of the very few combined art history museum studies programs in the country.
Oh,
I,
interesting.
I want to say it might be more now, it might be less now, actually. At the time, I think there were like 12 programs in the country that offered this. So I got a joint degree in art history and museum studies. So I was getting that practical gallery experience while I was doing the art history. And I absolutely love it. I really fell into the education side of things. After I finished my bachelor's, I went on for a master's in, it's like a dual program at Drexel. It's art administration and museum leadership. So both museum governance and like running an art gallery were in that program. And
Well,
then COVID
politics.
happened. Yeah,
So
art politics.
Art and politics.
Liaising with a
art.
board. I had a whole
Yeah.
course on that. Yeah.
Oh,
So
dude, you had a course on liaising with a board? Oh, man.
we just did case studies on, hey, what if your board like won't talk to each other? What do you do? Like it was fantastic.
Oh, that's comprehensive.
Yeah.
Because I have met many a board that was much dysfunction.
Yeah, it was great. So yeah, I took it that route because I love going to museums. I've always loved learning through museums. Experiential learning, I think, is a really underrated tool for education. And like I said, then COVID happened and I got my degree December 2019, got my first museum like job full time March of 2020.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. So I hung on there for a while, but the field really is undergoing a lot of change. Funding is being cut. I mean, it has been for years and years. And so museums are always restructuring. The museum I was at, it was really more of like a science education center. And I was writing curriculum there for about 2 years. And then our CEO decided that what we should really be doing was getting into esports.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Esports.
Esports, like video gaming, competitive, which don't get me wrong, I think there's merit in that, wasn't what I signed up to do. I was writing STEM curriculum, which was already a little different from my art background, but I had fun with it. I was making it work. And then when esports happened, I was like, I don't know if this is the place for me anymore. Luckily, at that point, I was already kind of coming up on TikTok with the royal commentary. And I don't want to say, luckily, I got doxxed, but like, it might have been the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, I'm sorry you did. That blows.
It was really shitty at the time, I will say. But the reason I got targeted online, it was thorough harassment, up to full-on doxing. They contacted my employer, the science center I was working at. But it was because I wasn't racist enough about Meghan Markle. So, again, every cloud has a silver lining, right?
Holy shit. I'm really, really sorry.
That's all right. No, it's fine.
Fucking abominable.
What it did, though, was enable me to go back to the drawing board and take creating content very seriously and revisit my art history degree, start the podcast. And we wouldn't be sitting here talking if that hadn't happened. So
it's true. But
yeah.
At the same time, as someone who's been on the internet, like the website's 20 years old now, and I'm out here under my own name, that fucking sucks. And it's appalling how many people find it their hobby to discover someone's identity and make them miserable and personally scared. Like, why is that your hobby?
Because I think you shouldn't be racist against a princess that neither you nor I will ever meet. Yeah, it's wild. Anyway, you asked me about art history.
Yes.
No, but
in terms of art analysis, it sounds like, so if I understand correctly, the art history part is how did this particular style, where is this particular image or this particular work located in a larger timeline, but also what does it mean and what is it saying? Because things that are art that endure tend to have a lot of nuanced context, and it's almost like a puzzle or a bunch of visual clues. You have to look at this thing and then figure out, what is it saying? How is it saying that? And where is it located in the larger conversation of all the other art that was happening at that time and the politics of that as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
About right?
Yeah, you nailed it. Visual clues, context clues are so important. Art historians are so good at media analysis because the first year you're in school with an art history program, you're learning how to look, like how to see. And I don't know if the statistic is, viably sound, but one of my professors told us the first year, I think we were in Survey of Western Art, she said, Do you know that one of the most successful non-science degrees, if they go on to take the MCAT, is art history? So like if you, for some reason, were an art history degree and you decided to make a massive pivot to medicine and take the MCAT, you would be set up for success there because you've learned how to look and to step back and see what's in front of you for what it is, not see what you know. That's one of the biggest lessons too with studying art is you have to look at what's actually there. So I've always found that fascinating. That's one of the things I love most about looking at art. Anyone can look at art. It's just a matter of turning off your thinking brain for a minute and then kind of reactivating it later down the line. And then for art history, placing it in the context. I love a big timeline of what's happening out on the world stage, what societal movements are going on. And that's, with my show, kind of why I chose the history lens, because you can learn so much about a period in time, a place in time, through the art that is being created.
Yes. Like when you did a deep dive, forgive me for not remembering the name or looking it up before, but dead guy in the bathtub, stabbed.
Marat. Yeah, the death of Marat.
Thank you. Dead guy in the bathtub. That's what, we're friends. That's how I call him.
Not anymore. You're not.
No, it's true because he's dead in a bathtub. One of the things you talked about is how that image has sort of become a shorthand image for rebellion and uprising and organizing. It has a very subversive tone because of what it means. And if you don't know that, it's like, oh, dead guy in a bathtub. Okay.
Martyrdom. Yeah. He was seen as a martyr for the cause of the French Revolution. And I mean, it's been parodied so many times because of that. I'm waiting for Stephen Colbert to put his face on it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's coming up in the zeitgeist.
Speak that into existence.
I might have to make it myself. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. It's an often overlooked lens to learn about history, a very accessible way to learn about history, which is why I love it so much. And for me, it also led me to the royal commentary because I was finding that when I was studying art, I was always drawn to the stories of royal patrons, royal portraits that maybe were a little subversive or where there was like a hidden backstory. So then it all just meshed together in my weird content geared before I even knew it brain.
Listen, I have that same brain. I run a website and a podcast about romance novels, but whatever the hell I want. That's interesting because it's my brain. I also think in terms of royals, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you were an artist way back in the day, you were either a patron or your patron was either the church or a royal or a really wealthy person who wanted to show off their wealth. Like that was how you made money. Right. So you kind of had to flatter all these people. Whoever was your patron, you had to make them look royal good. So there's a lot of royal portraits out in the world for that reason, made by really prominent artists.
Absolutely. And art for expression's sake, art for art's sake came way later.
Way later.
1800s, like the very beginnings. The Impressionists were some of the first to, the Realists, the Impressionists were some of the first to kind of strike out on their own because the patron system was no longer serving them. The Academy in France and others were barring entry to anyone they didn't see as towing the line, as following their very academic standards.
Wow, there's absolutely like no parallels to the current day. Wow, what an archaic and weird thing to do that we don't see anymore.
Yeah, we always see this like death burst, this extinction burst with these institutions, I will say. And then things get good for a while. So there is hope. There is hope.
Die en masse. So question, and it's totally okay if not, but are you a romance reader?
So I am a romance reader. I have had, I've had an up and down history with fiction in general because you know, art historian, royal commentator. I got to read a lot of nonfiction for that. And in the past few years, I've really fallen off and I've taken a really conscious look at what I'm reading in the past year and tried to like inject some novels and romance back into it. It's slow going. I will say I have listened to audiobooks like never before because I think that counts towards your reading goal as well.
Don't let anybody tell you you're not reading. You're putting a narrative in your head. Like, come on, absolutely reading.
Yeah, but no, I love a romance book. When I was younger, I used to, I was a big fiction reader. I used to sneak books when I had two brothers and we had one shower at my house and we took our showers in the evening. I used to sneak my books into the bathroom and I would sit between the shower curtain and the liner and I would read because it was peaceful and
nobody was going to bother
no one would bother me. And I had my little books.
All these damp books.
My little fantasy books, yeah. I wasn't a flashlight under the covers kid. I was a read between the shower curtains kid. I don't know if that's anyone else can relate, but I've been trying to like rediscover that. And luckily I rent my own apartment with my fiance and I can just read on the couch and he knows not to bother me. But
always hang a shower curtain if it makes you feel more at home.
Put the rain sounds on in the background. Yeah.
Recreate your own little nest.
Yeah.
So you are familiar, because I also know you work at a bookstore. You are familiar with the romance genre, and you're familiar with what it used to look like.
Oh, am I? So my mother, God love her, she's still with us, but I won't tell her anything about this episode. She's not allowed to listen. So she had a shelf of romance novels when we were growing up, and they were just right there in the living room, which kudos to her.
Yep.
That was part of my, shall we say, self-discovery as a tween teenager.
Very common.
Skye O'Malley.
Oh boy, you just jumped right in.
I dived right, again, as I do, right in the middle of the ocean. They were right there though. So like, come on. The Bertrand Small, I think there was like a fairies series. Anyway, so that was my early exposure to adult romance novels. And I remember flipping through them and being like, oh, because I was like looking for things to read. I love to read and I had read all of my books. And I remember stumbling upon, some of these scenes.
Oh, yeah.
And thinking, does my mom know that these books are so smutty? And obviously she did. That's why they were there.
That's why she kept them, because it's Skye O'Malley.
Right. So yeah, that was my first exposure to romance. And like I said, I'm getting back into it now as a 30-year-old woman with my own purchasing power. Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
This makes me very happy. So what we are going to do today, I have sent you a file full of some old romance covers and some art, and I am very excited to hear your thoughts, both as a person who understands how book marketing works and a person who understands how art messaging and art communication works.
Yeah.
I don't think it's art marketing, but the cover is doing something.
Some heavy lifting, yeah.
There's some heavy lifting because, a book cover has a lot of work to do. It has to grab your attention. It has to make you be, oh, what's that? It has to communicate some very basic things like genre, character, that kind of thing. It's got a
vibiness.
Totally the vibe. It's got to communicate all that very quickly when you glance at it, and your brain has to process all that information. And as I've talked about many times, the history of romance cover art is so fascinating. Like I have this little secret idea to make a coffee table book of the history of romance cover art up to the 2000s.
Oh, you should do it.
Because a lot of these cover artists are dying. They're older because they were working in the 70s. But this was originally all oil paint. And they would take a bunch of photographs as sort of model images, and then they would develop all of these different things for the covers. But this is all originally oil and then became digital, which meant that it was faster. But you would have, full works of art on the cover of your book, and you can find them for sale now, and they're friggin' dope. Okay. So we're going to look at some old ass covers and talk about what they're doing.
I love this. I'm so excited.
You have no idea how extremely excited I am. All right. I am going to share my screen, and I opened up. Okay. So, you're currently seeing A Heart So Wild.
Sure am.
Okay, so this is the original, this is what I found. The problem with a lot of these is unless you own them and you scan them, they're not like the greatest of resolution. But I did find a better resolution version of this one.
I do think in a way, though, that lends some mystique to these covers. It's like Vaseline on the lens, right? I love the vibe here. But okay, higher res. Let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So this is a scan. So this is actually a bit overexposed. This is a scan of a hardcover version of this book that is for sale. But this is Joanna Lindsay's A Heart So Wild. I asked my audience, the podcast audience, I asked everyone who would listen to me, what are your favorite absolutely off-the-wall romance covers? And sure, the ones we're looking at, starting with this one, because wow.
Oh, I didn't notice the fire.
Yeah.
Or the gun.
Nope.
Or how many arms are happening here? One. Okay.
Yes.
One on her thigh, one
later.
on her waist.
We have arm questions later.
Okay. I knew that there was going to be an arm question. Okay, perfect. It's not this one. Wow. That's certainly a cover.
Isn't it now?
Are those 2 R's in the heart, the title? It's a little different from the low res version. Do you see like?
Oh yeah, I wonder if that's a typo. Wait,
instead of a T, it's an R at the end of heart.
R, that's a T. Maybe did somebody Photoshop this, or is this just an error? I'm gonna put this link.
Did AI like crisp it up? I'm so I hope not. I really hope not.
do not know, but it's either a heart or a heart
or a typo.
It's like when they OCR scan. No, those letters are totally different. It's like when they OCR scan old text and arms becomes anus. It's really fun. So first of all, I'll leave the higher res one on, even though the title isn't correct. I have always thought that this looks like Barbra Streisand.
Crispy jawline.
Yep.
A nice profile.
Very strong profile.
The blue eyeshadow.
Okay. This is vintage Babs. So Babs is in a pink low-cut dress. It's like a deep, deep scoop neck.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a little tie on the sleeve there. She's got one leg out. Nobody, forgive me for being crass, the fire is very close to them. Neither of them should fart. It would be bad idea. The fire is right behind them. And also that tree looks dead.
There's a lot of flowing hair and fabric to be this close to a fire.
Tell me what you see when you look at this cover. Like, what is it saying other than these people are horny? But I mean, that's the bottom message.
I love a draped woman, and we have that here.
We sure do.
She is draped over. He is. Oof. If he let go of her, she's on the floor. She is limp, which I love, but a lot of tension in the neck because you got to have it.
Very
so
true.
many emotions being communicated here. Wow. I'm just trying to take it in. And the face is saying, no, don't. But the body language below the neck is saying something different.
Yes, very much so. You're right about that. He's very interested. He's actually lifting the shoulder of her dress off. Like he's looking over her carotid artery to see how big her boobs are. Like, what's going on in here? He's lifting away the bodice of her dress. And she's got one arm behind his head, even though she's turned around. And this really does, exactly. It does represent the tension, I think, of romances at this time, because these were published right after the first wave of feminism. Got credit cards and had, bank accounts in our own name.
But don't we all just want to be ravished by a man in blue jeans with a hip holster?
Exactly. A very erect hip holster. In a lot of these books, the heroines it really wasn't going to be accepted by the reader for the heroine to have horny pants and to be sexually adventurous or even sexually interested. Sex had to be visited upon her. So she has to both communicate willingness, but also not so much willingness.
I mean, I have to say, given my first exposure to this type of romance was Sky O'Malley, like I've picked up on that from the beginning. It's like baby, it's cold outside syndrome, right? Like people love to say that song should be canceled. It's about non-consent. It's like, actually, the big brain take is that this was how we communicated our desires. We played this game of no, don't, but maybe. And I'm not saying we shouldn't update our language to reflect that, but as a time capsule, I think these stories were always formatted this way for a reason.
Yes.
You're bang on. Yeah.
And it's a code, right? That's one of the things that I find so fascinating about these is this is all a code. They're trying to communicate, yes, this book has some sex in it, but what is tension and what's happening?
There's tension. There might be some danger. We have a gun. We have fire. We have dead trees, but she's alive. She is in bloom, to use a Jane Austen, term.
Yeah.
She's being brought back to life, dare I say.
And she's also the brightest thing on the page. Like one of the things I notice with a lot of these images is that, you have, obviously artists have ways of directing where you're going to look and directing where your eye is ultimately going to go. There's a journey that you take visually that has been plotted by someone. Because she is the lightest and brightest thing on the page. She's the thing that stands out.
Absolutely. And we find this in art history a lot too, especially in like Baroque art, where we have something called tenebrism, where there's like an extreme dark and an extreme light. It was kind of inspired by stage lighting. And that's exactly what's happening here. And then you have her bright, pale skin and the curve of her body. You can move your eye with her body and it moves you around the composition. And that's something like the old masters were doing. And we see it here on a Joanna Lindsay cover. I love it.
This is McEnnis, and he passed away recently.
Oh.
You want to see something super sad?
Oh.
So a lot of romance readers, really myself included, although I understand that they are vintage and not applicable to today's marketing environment, a lot of people miss these covers, myself included. And because one of the reasons is this is what they look like now.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Right. The new cover is a photograph of a blonde woman.
She has iPhone face.
100%. She has Instagram hair.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She's got layers. She has balayage.
Yeah.
And I see Kate Middleton blowout.
I'm sorry. Is that blouse cheetah print? I think it would be blue cheetah print.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
And it's like, okay, maybe this is historical. The cheetah print and the balayage is throwing me, but it's clearly a photograph. She's leaning up on some wagon wheels, which I don't think were originally there behind her. It's all very mixed media. It doesn't do what that's doing.
I'm so fascinated by taking the love interest off of the cover too. It's just her.
That's something that's been happening a while. First of all, the historical romance genre is kind of in a coma right now. So we've run out of covers to discuss because it's not going to be published as much, certainly not in mass market paperback. So what you're going to see is the older authors getting new covers because they're still selling. With this, it's like, does this communicate anything?
I would not pick this up. Like you mentioned, judging by books by covers. That's how I pick up a lot of my books because I do events at an independent bookstore and I get freebies. I get the ARCs. I also browse. We have flat lay tables for our new releases. I'm going by cover. I would not think twice about this. Yeah.
Has a job to do. But is this an old Western? Is this...
It looks like frontier... Yeah, Christian romance, maybe.
But I can tell, even though, I quilt and sew, and so I'm looking at that and going, "Oh, well, that's synthetic fabric. This isn't, because no fabric would drape like that.
It looks so thin.
Exactly. That's a synthetic. So, I'm going to be nitpicky about the fabric until this doesn't work. I'm sure whoever designed this was like, I needed to redo the cover in a way. We're also flipping back and forth between having the hero only.
Yeah.
A lot of contemporary romance is just the hero. He's often very shiny and very muscular. Single women on the cover is less and less common.
Interesting.
So shall we move on to the next cover in our collection, which is...
Please.
Are you ready?
No, but yes.
Okay. Are you old enough to remember Lisa Frank? Was Lisa Frank relevant to you?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I do not mean to be condescending.
No, it was elementary school for me. But I had some folders. Yeah.
All right. So here you go. If Lisa Frank grew up on a cover, could you just describe what's going on here? This is A Certain Magic by Kathleen Morgan.
Okay.
Author of Fire Queen.
Best-selling award-winning author. Excuse you.
Excuse me.
So, okay, Golden Pegasus being, oh, no, I don't know if anyone's actually holding the reins, flying us through a pink and purple sky. And on said Pegasus, we have heroine with heaving bosoms. Mm-hmm. Again, getting a crick out of her neck, leaning back onto a hero, sitting behind her on Pegasus. I've just noticed the sword. Directly behind her buttock. That would not be comfortable.
Where's the rest of the sword? Please don't tell me it's in the Pegasus. No wonder he looks pissed off. Like, buddy.
He's like,
buddy, the thing's poking me. Guy.
A little alarmed. Yeah, wow. Wow, that's certainly a certain magic. Is all I can say. Wow.
I am fascinated by the clothing here because the artist is really trying to communicate a time period. I
don't know what time period.
Tell you what time period it is.
Yeah.
He has a deep square neckline.
It's almost toga-ish.
Yeah, it could be a doublet. It could be a toga. She's got off-the-shoulder bar wench.
Yeah.
Kind of style.
It's Snow White, but make it sexy and take away the blue colorway.
And that is the most decorated horse.
He's pimped out. I love...
Bling.
So there always seems to be, it's an outdated term, but like some sort of Orientalism with these fantasy books. And I'm wondering if that's what we're going for here.
Very much so. Yes. There's a lot of Orientalism and an exoticizing of especially Middle Eastern cultures during this time and still to this day at this point.
Yeah.
They are, of course, flying over a castle.
Yes. Another phallic image, perhaps? Should I just assume for the rest of this episode, if something looks like a phallus, it is a phallus?
I mean, I think that's a safe assumption.
Save myself some mental energy.
Yes, but like every single one has something, right?
Yeah, there's always something.
Like if we go back to A Heart So Wild, we have a gun, we have this tree, we have like her body in a long pink line. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And if we go back to A Certain Magic, we've got a sword and we've got a castle. Even the horse has a little gem on the middle of its forehead. I don't. What's the front of the horse between its eyes to its nose? Whatever that part is.
I only know bridle. I don't know.
So whatever that horse people, I'm sorry, forgive me, but whatever that is, it's like a little pointy thing. Just it's like adding on a unicorn horn.
Yeah, and even if it's not, even if we don't have phalluses explicitly, there's always a lot of like triangular imagery too, which I think,
oh, you're right,
whether it's subconscious or not, is a more ancient symbol for like male virility. You know, the triangle upright and then the triangle down or like an open V is female typically. I see a lot. As I was flipping through the ones you sent me, I saw a lot of that triangle orientation, which again, in our history, it's a very commonly used format because it's the most structurally sound shape. It lends stability to your image. But I'm just thinking here, the people, the man and the woman, are making a little triangle shape. The horse is making a little triangle shape with his ear there. And then you have the castle at the bottom. I don't know, triangles.
And the metal medallion bridal decoration is a triangle pointed downward just below the horse's chin. Neck. Those little gold circles are in a open bottom pointing triangle.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying. I mean, it's there. You can believe us or not.
For all who have eyes to see.
Okay, the triangle part just blew my mind. Like my brain is like Jiffy Pop right now. Even the decoration on the chest strap of the horse has downward pointed triangles on it. Holy cow. Okay.
It is.
So speaking of phallic, here we have When Love Awaits.
Oh, yeah.
Lindsay. Now, I thought that this was reminiscent of Klimt.
Ooh,
Do you think so?
Yeah, absolutely. Klimt, or, I mean, it even goes back farther than that. Obviously, all art is derivative. Greek sculpture, Hellenistic sculpture, which is Greek sculpture with like a little bit more expression mixed in.
It's Greek sculpture with feelings.
Once they realized like we didn't have to be so rigid, they got a little bit experimental. I love it. I thought that too. I don't know if it was this one specifically, but maybe it's coming up. Yeah, there's definitely a clear throwback to these images of love and romance. I thought of Sleeping Beauty when I looked at this one because growing up, I had these paper dolls by an artist, I think, who worked in this era. I cannot remember the name for the life of me. But his Sleeping Beauty was very, very akin to this cover model.
And again, she is the lightest thing on the page. She's very, very pale. She's very blonde
and decked out in pink and purple, which I don't know if, again, synthetic fabric wise, we could have obtained in the medieval era. I love the pink and purple covers, though. That's like, give it to me. It's so good.
Oh, if it's not fuchsia, it's romance.
Is it even romance?
Why are we even here if you're not including fuchsia? There's no fuchsia. Well, I'm just leaving. But again, with the phallic symbols, we have a big old sword.
Oh,
a castle with a tower. He's got a little helmet over. Is that a helmet? Maybe it's a can.
I think it's a helmet with a plume. I was just at the Tower of London recently and walking through the arms and armor. You can see Henry VIII's helmet and also his codpiece.
I know he was
top of mind for me.
Really compensating for something like that. How many people buy tickets to that? Be like, all right, let's go see this guy's groin.
And it's eye level if you have children because they put the suits of armor up on little platforms. So it's like right there.
Yep.
I overheard many an uncomfortable conversation.
Oh, yes. See, I bought my ticket specifically to be like, I got to see this codpiece for myself. How much of a shout are we talking about here?
And I love it because some of the arms and armor in that exhibition, you know, we recognized they were kind of like recreated. They were cobbled together. But like the Henry VIII ones were like, no, this is him. Like he decided to do this.
He was worried about the ample accommodation of certain parts of his body. He's also very smooth, very shiny on the cover, not Henry VIII. And I think he might be naked.
I think he's naked too. And I love that there's like a tan difference as you get down to his like hip area. It gets a little paler.
Yep.
So I think that is telling us he is naked.
It's not farmer tan. It's like Joanna Lindsay hero
Fabio tan. I don't
Fabio
know.
tan, just from the waist up.
Yeah.
Very tan.
Mm-hmm.
So I have two of the next one. I have a lower.
Wait, can I call out once again, though? You have the phallic sword going down, and then on her little waistline, you have an open V belt.
You do. Thank you for noticing that. Oh, damn.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
So we have the V at her belt. I know that's very pixelated now. We've got V's on the shoulder, and there's kind of a V at her bosom, too.
And it's receiving, you know?
Yes. It's all pointed up to his downward thrusting sword. Oh, my God.
It's there.
You totally nailed that one. No pun intended. Yeah, you're right. Oh, it's interesting. All right. So let's take a look at The Hawk and the Dove. So this is a cover flat. They don't make these anymore, which is used to be able to just get the cardboard of the cover in a big flat, and then you could run it or do stuff. Like I have one for my first book in 2009. And it's the coolest thing. So this is like the full cover. This is sort of like the complete, what you would see if you held them all the way open.
The jacket, yeah.
Thank you. There's a lot going on here.
A lot. Are any of these authors, sorry to interrupt you, are any of these authors using pen names? Virginia Henley, like, is that her real name?
You know what? I don't know if Virginia Henley was her real name. A lot of them were. Let me see here. Virginia Henley is the first Google of the episode, everyone. Are you excited? Virginia Henley, I believe. Okay, first of all, bless her, she is still alive and kicking at age 89. Miss Virginia.
God bless.
Virginia Henley's maiden name was Virginia Siddall, Syddall.
Okay.
I'm going with Siddall. And she married Arthur Henley in 1956.
All right.
And he passed away in 2013. So that is her name.
Wow. See, looking at romance covers, I always question, am I the one with a dirty mind, or is it just being laid on too thick? And that was one of those moments.
Porque no los dos. So with The Hawk and the Dove, number one, I don't know what they're lying down on.
A bed of roses, perhaps?
And it's a waterbed?
A waterbed of roses.
Because there's a water behind them.
It's the dove's nest.
Yes, they're floating around it. Also, he looks like he's wearing jeans.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to ask you about. What jumps out at you? Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
What jumps out at you?
I have to say, woman on top. We love to see it.
Yes.
That's the first time I've noticed it. And I'm looking at the tagline. He married her for money. So she is the one with power in this relationship. Okay. And I love to see that communicated in a cover image.
Look at all the jewels and the fabric and the amount of fabric. Like the amount of fabric as a signal of wealth always grabs my attention.
Mm-hmm. It's coming back in fashion right now.
Oh, yes, it really is.
Which I think is telling as for the era that we are in, that excess of fabric and materials is on the runways.
Yes, especially because as someone who buys fabric, a lot of this fabric is printed overseas and has become very expensive because of tariffs. We don't have a lot of fabric.
The next status symbol.
The next symbol, fabric and food. So she's got a lot of fabric. She's got a lot of lace. She's got some pearls hanging off both of her boobs.
Love it. But unbound hair, because is it even a romance cover if your hair isn't loose and flowing?
Yes. 100%. We have a little castle, but we also have some ship masts. Now, here's something that I would love to ask you about.
Please.
If you look at his finger, the one that is not grabbing her thigh, there is a tiny bird on his finger.
Yeah.
Why?
To show that he's gentle. He's so delicate and has soft hands. That's the female gaze right there.
Look at how
little birds come down to land on his finger because he's such a tender-hearted soul, is what I'm assuming.
With nipples like dinner plates. They're his.
Rippling muscles.
This is, by the way, the Fabs. I'm pretty sure that's the Fabios. That's Mr.
It looks like him. Yeah. Now that you've said it.
Usually you can tell by the jaw. Square, then it's the Fabs.
Yep.
The hair color is completely irrelevant. You also, now that you've pointed that out to me, this is the only thing I can see. We have the V of her necklace. We have the open V's of the pearls. I mean, why wear pearls around your neck when you can attach them to your bodice and drape them under your boobs? Like what? Why even go with the old way?
It's so good. She's giving Queen Elizabeth the first, not the
Yes.
second.
Yes.
In a way.
Although QE too could have, I mean.
She had like a brooch. It was the two of the Cullinan diamonds.
Yeah.
And she called them Granny's chips because Granny.
Yeah, why not?
Granny used to wear them. She loved a jewel. I will say.
But
her taste was a little tacky. But
Lizzie too could have done a lot by wearing a lot more of this, whatever, all of
stomach
this going on
pearl.
here. Yeah, all of this. This is by Sharon Spiak, who is still with us and I've interviewed her before. She's a fascinating.
You need to write this book. You have to.
You think so?
My publisher specializes in gift book, coffee table books. If you ever want to submit a proposal, I will give you their names.
Thank you. I will be like, hey, my agent, who I've made $9 for, like another $9 whole. So this is one of the covers that a lot of readers from my site and a lot of listeners suggested, because this is the one they think of when they think just over the top. Like there's a Yiddish word I love, ongepatchki, which means over decorated, overdone, just like we hosed the wall down with everything. This is an ongepatchki cover.
Yeah, 80s excess. I'm assuming this is from the 80s just by looking at it.
I'm going to verify, but I think you're right.
It's got to be, right? The opulence, the extravagance.
Originally published in 1988.
Hell yeah.
Yep. And this is very 80s colors too.
The mauve. Yeah. My godparents still have like a mauve living room color coordinated with their sofa. And I'm like, where am I? It's 1982 whenever I step into their house.
It's like when you go to a condo and it hasn't been updated since the 90s. And it's like, wow, burgundy and dark green.
And they just embrace it. I love it.
Yeah. It's like, okay. I love this cover because it is just so much. It's not even pretending to be anything other than, no, this is a romance novel and it's going to be horny.
It is, yeah. And I mean, again, this is sort of coming back in a way. We're obsessed with the pre-Raphaelites right now. She's giving a little bit of a pre-Raphaelite vibe with her long red tresses. They're kind of curly on the top of her head, the roses. I'm into this. I like this. Might be my favorite one so far.
Ooh, you're very right. This is very pre-Raphaelite. All of these staffs and arms and masts just coming.
I'm thinking of waves, like the energy, like pulling you forward and then back a little bit and then forward again. And it's very sensual.
Yep. Ships are all about stupping everybody. So this was suggested by one of my listeners and readers. Heart of the Falcon. This is again the Fabs. I could not find a higher res one of this. I apologize, but this one is wild. Tell me, what do we got going on here?
I mean, is this Antony and Cleopatra? Like, what's going on? I love a pyramid. Again, upright triangle. Hello.
Upright triangles.
Hello.
And big upright phallic palm trees reaching towards a full moon. Just the top right corner of this is already sexual.
Wait, okay. I was going to comment on the purple, pink, the fuchsia in ancient Egypt, I'm assuming. Then I realized he's holding a sword. It's in his hand.
Oh, yeah.
What's he going to do with that sword? Suzanne.
Wait, maybe they're like on a boat and he's just paddling with his.
Oh, maybe it's not a sword. Maybe it's a.
I don't know. It looks like he's about to like haul up and stab her. Like he's like getting ready to impale the sword, and not with his manly.
So much like potential energy here, like with that in his hand and his rippling back muscles. Like it's very evocative of like they're in the moment, kind of. Swelling is the word I want to use. I don't know if that's
quite
right.
Perfectly acceptable way to use in this context. Wow. Absolutely.
Wow.
Also, irises are some very vaginal flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's Georgia O'Keeffe.
There's a lot of Georgia O'Keeffe. But I mean, look at the number of open irises just folding around them. It's incredible.
It's encouragement from nature. It's divinely ordained that they shall.
They shall visit Bone Town.
Wow. She's made up to the gods though. And I love her little earring sparkle, just so you know that this is a wealthy woman.
Yep. And it's very costumey. Like, that
It is. Yeah.
costumey, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I know the era. I know what's happening. There's a lot of tension. What's going on?
We didn't try to make it naturalistic. We just went full send to like, this is our interpretation and you're gonna read it. Like, you're gonna read it.
Yep. 100%. Now, this one I have a special affinity for just because this is the art that I have on my wall.
Okay.
The larger version, I don't know if you can see over my shoulder, there's a garden behind them and there's a very phallic gazebo. Yeah, it's kind of hidden in the glare. I'll have to find a better picture of it when it's not like the sun isn't coming in this window.
I wonder how many of these images like were originally expanded and like we don't know because they're on a book cover and we can't get the originals anymore.
Yeah, you have to really go to an old bookstore, like a used bookstore that has bunches and bunches of the big fat paperbacks and then open them up because usually the art goes all the way across the back. Yeah, it's like one piece. And if you see some of the original art, there was an exhibit, I want to say it was in Yardley.
Okay.
Yeah, it was last winter. So I drove up from DC because I was like, I'm not missing this. It was all one artist's cover art.
Wow.
And then paired with the books that it ended up on. But a lot of them were these huge landscape-oriented pictures, two couples going to Bonetown, maybe a little miniature vignette of them for the spine. The rest of the setting had this big empty space for the cover copy. Like they're just...
Yeah, I love that.
That's how they were all designed. This one, that's John DeSalvo. I have a special soft spot for him because when I was writing my first book, The Smart Bitch's Guide to Romance Novels, I reached out to Fabio. I reached out to some other cover models. John DeSalvo was the only one who emailed me back and answered my questions.
Bless his heart.
Super chill and into it. One question, and we haven't seen a lot of that on these covers, but one question that has always made me confused is there are so many romance heroes who have their shirts open but still tucked in. Like, who unbuttons a shirt without pulling it out of your trousers first? Like, I don't understand.
It's the heat of the moment. I don't know.
He's like, it's the tension. Now that you've said that, it's a V. Of course, that's why.
Leading the eye
down to the...
That's what we have here as well. Can I just say?
Well, yes.
What is this? I want to say shoulder belt. I know there's a word for it. Is it a quiver? Are there arrows involved on the back? I don't know.
It is a hot pink gladiator toga, though.
It's nice. I'm into it, and I like the one arm brace for protection, presumably.
Yep. Just in case you're punching somebody, they're not going to grab your wrist. She's okay. First of all, Ye Olde Bra is doing the work here. Her breasts are extremely lifted in a way,
sky high.
Yes,
yeah, she's hoisted.
And look at how many V's there are. Her necklace, her neckline. And his pants, his skirt and the top and the blowing.
And even her pulling up her skirt kind of creates this upward triangle.
Yep.
Leading you to the groin area. I'm just saying.
You're not wrong. So with this one, what else, other than horny and V's, do you notice anything else about this particular cover?
I'm trying to look here. I'm counting arms because I know that's coming, but I don't think this is the one. Nope. His hair might be better than hers on this cover.
Do you know, I've talked about this. I used to think when I was a kid, because I was born in the mid-'70s, so like the big like purple fuchsia giant bosom romance novels, those were the ones that I first started reading in like the early 90s. I really thought that when I grew up, when you reached adulthood, your hair just did that. Like everything that's happening on a romance novel cover with the long, flowing, never frizzy, never tangled, even though they're on a ship, hair. That's what your hair was going to look like when you were an adult. That's not what happened. Very sad.
No. Even with the best of dry shampoo and styling creams, I cannot achieve that level of perfection.
You notice we have a lot of redheads in this collection. I didn't do this.
Oh, always.
Got a lot of redheads.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Because they're not like other girls. They got to be, our heroines must not be like other girls.
No, they can't be like other girls. That's cool. All right. So the next one is one of the most legendary covers in romance.
This is the one.
Castles in the Air by Christina Dodd. This woman is my avatar on a lot of places. You remember like back in the day on the internet, you could set an avatar and it would kind of follow you through all the different comment sections.
Yeah.
This was my avatar. This woman because if I had 3 arms, do you have any idea how much I would get done?
How powerful you would be.
I would have so many things going on. I would be the queen of multitasking. But yes, this is the woman with 3 hands.
There they are.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so I love there's tension in that too, in the fact that she has 3 arms. You have the one that's down by her side.
Yep, holding her up.
Then the alternate was holding the man's hand. So it's a question of, do we want her to be being ravished or an active participant?
Yep.
I think there's something there.
There's a duality in these 3 hands.
And then the one, of course, she's just trying not to fall over on the other side.
I always wonder if the people on these covers are like, oh, rocks? Really?
Really rocks?
Really doing it on rocks? Again? Do we have to? Like, what if we didn't?
And I wonder, like, with the models, were they brought into a studio to do these poses? Or are we actually referencing something like Greek sculpture? Because there are plenty of Greek sculpture. I'm thinking Cupid and Psyche as a reference. You could bring it forward to Rodin. He has a couple of making out couples. Are we just referencing for poses and then the faces are the models? I would love to be like a fly on the wall for one of these sessions.
From what I remember from my interview with Sharon Spiak, the models are hired, but it's very specific models because much like doing an interview with someone you know very well, but you're having a pretty intimate conversation, you have to like get past the initial small talk and have a deep conversation with someone you don't know. These models have to act like they're super into someone they don't know.
Right.
And they were telling me that they started having favorite models just because they understood how to make this work. And also they had good chemistry.
Yeah, that's what I was
people they
say.
were working with. So there was one period when a famous soap opera actress named Ewa de Cruz was on all of them because she was just so good at cover modeling. But they take a whole bunch of photos and then the artist will paint based on those photos. I wonder if this is the pose or it's also, this is the pose and this is the piece of classical art. I have one that I really wonder is like, okay, were you really leaning into classical art here?
Right. Yeah. That's so interesting about and I wonder if there were certain pairings of models that would work together, like kind of like a Dave Franco and an Alison Brie. Like they just know they worked well together if they have good chemistry and they look good on a cover, damn it.
The McAdams and Gosling of romance covers? Absolutely, there were.
Anyway, back to the 3 hands. Do we know why this happened?
I think it was an artist mistake that no one noticed. The author, Christina Dott, has a whole page on her website. Like, you found out that your book cover has 3 arms. What do? You tell everyone.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
You
love
tell
it so much.
Everybody. Yes.
It's so good.
And even without the 3rd arm, this is clearly like a Knights Templar plot era. Like he's got chainmail, he's got a big red cross on his chest. There's a lot of V action and all of that. She's got half off the shoulder and half square neckline.
Yeah, he must be really pulling for that type of dress with that embroidery around the shoulders to be slipping off. Like some real tension there.
Yeah, he's really yanking down her dress.
She's belted, but I love when we look at these models, there's often like a transition from they're very structured and rigid on the top, like the bodice, and then the flowing skirt, like a little bit more free, a little more loose.
Oh, you're right.
I love that.
There is a lot of type boning and tailoring that the bodices are always tight.
But then we're hiking up the skirt, or the skirt is kind of coming undone and flowing in the wind.
Yep.
There's
like 2
tension is the key word.
2 yards of fabric for the top and 50 for the bottom.
Right.
So I added this one just real quick because this is my favorite. Why are you having sex here? This is Edith Layton's For the Love of a Pirate. I didn't.
Oh my gosh. That would hurt. That would be so painful for everyone involved.
They're on spiky rocks. He is kneeling. She is also kneeling and putting her leg up over him. But there are these massive waves behind them that are about to drown them both. Y'all, why here?
The only permissible explanation is that this is Elizabeth Swann and I don't know his character name off the top of my head, Orlando Bloom, at the end of that one Pirates movie where he has to go back out to sea for 7 years or whatever. This is the moment. They cannot move. They do not have time.
It's true. You know what? You might be right there. And he's at that point, I think he's Davy Jones, so he kind of controls.
Right.
Maybe he gets like a little bubble, like the water will part around him magically.
That would be nice. I would read that scene.
I will forever love this cover. This is just Okay, sure. Right there. I
Why
understand.
not?
Sure. That can't be comfortable.
I
But
love the wide angle because we had to get the waves in
yes,
to like raise the stakes.
waves cresting. There's a lot of waves cresting language when you have an orgasm too. So clearly they are about to go to Bone Town. The next one I sent you is The Rose and the Flame by Patricia Phillips. This was suggested by a reader and listener. This is very opulent.
It's a little against type, I will say.
I got a lot of questions here, starting with what is this outfit he's wearing?
It's 14th century realness is all I can say.
Very baggy in the chest area.
But velvet, very sumptuous.
Oh, yes.
Not synthetic. Beautiful. I really like this. So she's a little bit more buttoned up than the other ones we've seen, particularly because her hair is done. And like, you know, if you watch period pieces, you know, if a woman has her hair up, she's married and off the market. And if it's down, it's flowing, it's loose, she's either single, a child, or just like rebellious and doesn't care.
Or Kate Middleton.
Or Kate Middleton, the queen of the bouncy blowout. But I think that's why you always see the loose flowing tresses on these covers. Because women cannot be contained. And I love that this one is just going the opposite direction. And I assume, you know, shortly it will be unbound, given context clues in this image.
She also has incredibly rich, dark black hair. It is gathered up into like, okay, so there's a cowl net at the back. You can see netting, but then the top is kind of like if you had a French twist, but it stuck up a lot and went all the way to your forehead like a big sausage mohawk.
But also like Nancy Reagan poof.
Yes,
on the
a lot
top.
of poofy in the front there too. He's also got floofy, puffy mullet. But look at all of the pearls in her hair. Very, very suggestive. Pearl everywhere.
Yes. It's so fascinating. The netting kind of containing it, and her bodice is not slipping. It's low cut and she's heaving, but it's not. She's fully clothed.
Oh yeah,
you can't always say.
He hasn't made much progress here.
You do have the transition though in the image from very structured up top to the rose and the flame. I'm sorry. It flows outwards and it becomes very loose. Her dress turns into roses.
Yep.
Question mark. Yep. Wow. A different take on the genre. I love it.
And his outfit, I'm guessing that's a doublet or something with a doublet.
Gotta be. There's layers here. Yeah, it's like early Tudor if I'm placing it in royal history, but I don't know much about like the fashion history of that.
It almost looks like, because it is so wrinkled and lumpy in the front, it almost looks like his bodice in the back, like the back of his doublet is open and it's loose in the front because she blows off.
The Velcro on the back is loose. Yeah. We're mixing eras too, because she's dressed for Versailles in like 1760 and he's 1450 easy.
Wait, maybe this is a time travel. Usually do you remember those? They used to be like all over the place. You get time travel forward, time travel backwards. Everybody's time traveling.
The only ones I've really read are the Outlander books, honestly.
Oh.
Which
also time travel.
Heavy one.
Okay, so according to this is a very interesting cover copy. The Rose and the Flame by Patricia Phillips. If you're curious, 3.63 stars with 16 ratings on Goodreads. If you like this book, it needs some help.
About to be 17.
That's right. She was a rose ripe for the plucking. He was a flame burning hot with desire. Sultry and exquisitely beautiful Elena was sought after by every man in Mary Tudor's court.
Mary Tudor. Yeah, here we go.
But golden as the sun, Luis de los Santos had given her a taste of ecstasy in his strong arms. They're driven apart by pride. They reunited by destiny on the sun-drenched plains of a Spanish rancho.
Okay, I love this because historically speaking, that's very compelling. The intersection between Mary Tudor, if we're talking about Mary, like Bloody Mary, who married the King of Spain, and the meeting of those worlds. I would read that book if it wasn't a romance novel.
This is so interesting.
Now it's about to be 17 reviews on Goodreads. I'm going to pick this up.
Hell yeah. Now Luis belonged to another, but his forbidden love for Elena knew no bounds. They would battle the dangers of their turbulent era and forge a new life together. I could put this under a box with a little stick and it would be like Amanda Bate.
Yeah, you would capture me.
I would just like, boom. This is what we would call fucking through history. All of this stuff is going to go down, but you're also going to get a lot of history lessons. Like, that's the other thing about reading a lot of romance.
Yeah.
You learn a lot of history.
You do. Like, you learn approximate knowledge. You got to fact check a little bit, but approximate knowledge about a lot of different eras.
Oh, yeah.
And we're globe-trotting. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking of Sky O'Malley. Didn't she get captured by a Muslim warlord or a sultan at one point?
At
Something
least
like that.
It could have been twice.
Probably multiple times because we never learn our lesson.
It was a series, so another kidnapping may needed to have happened.
To drive the plot, yeah.
Of course.
Because once they have kids and they settle down, we got to bring them back into the plot.
Yeah. Got to get the band back together and head out back to sea.
Wow. This is incredible.
This is the one that grabs you.
Yeah, it really does. Especially because of like, we were so meticulous about his outfit, even though it is like a Party City costume version. And hers is just 300 years later. I'm so impressed with that.
You got to wonder, like, if you're staging these, you know, do you have just costumes and they just...
Is it, just what you had in the back?
The oldie costume? Because, I mean, you could also make these different colors and make it like a Mississippi riverboat madam.
And I don't really understand it either, because it's not like tits weren't out in the Tudor era. Like, they kind of were. My friend Anne Foster, that's one of her slogans on her podcast, Vulgar History, tits out, because there are so many examples of badass women from history in portraiture and in real life just loving having their boobs on display. And it goes back to the Tudor times. So I don't know why necessarily we had to fast forward 300 years to France for this costume, other than, maybe it was just what they had on the rack in the studio that day. Yeah.
It does not look, this is a 1989 novel. Does not look like the digital rights were ever sold. So if you want, you can only get it in a paperback.
All right. I'll start scrubbing the bookstore for it.
All right. So the next one, I think, draws, this is a very old cover. I think this draws a lot from classic art, and I want to know what you think. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, yeah. There it is. Cupid and Psyche.
Yep.
Right away. So we have the woman underneath arching her body up. I'm like trying to do it. Arching her body up towards the man who is floating, ? Down towards her.
He is almost horizontal.
He really is. And so she's
flying.
reaching up. Yeah, that's, Antonio Canova, Cupid and Psyche, Metropolitan Museum of Art. Look it up. That's what this is.
Antonio
Canova, Canova.
Cupid und Psyche. Oh, look at them.
There they are.
Yeah.
There's probably one that's a bang on match. Oh yeah, there are so many examples. So you can also look at Theodor Friedel, Cupid and Psyche, 1890. Let's see, I'm just like doing a Google search. And then yes, Psyche revived by Cupid's kiss. It's the arm. It's the outstretched, rounded arm.
It's the arm reaching up.
Yep.
In a big curve. And the way that he is looking down at her and she's looking slightly away.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. This is very Cupid and Psyche. It's a little Michelangelo with all the drapey.
Yeah. And I was thinking like, even something like the creation of man.
Oh, yes.
God touching Adam's finger almost, but like not quite. We're almost there, but we're not touching. Like her hand is hovering. Wow. What can you say? It's very highbrow.
It really gets the job done, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
The other thing that jumps out about this is the light. This is a very dark.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, but this is a dark cover.
Yeah. If they're being lit from behind, though, she's way too bright, way too illuminated, because we need to have her be the focal point.
Yes.
But I love it. I love the colors of the background, that like watercolor, moody sky. I'm assuming it's a sky.
Yeah, I think it is. But if you're talking about the creation of Adam, yes, also there's
in a way
draping and flowing and almost touching
the limp hands, like almost, yeah.
And he's got a blue bed sheet, is what he's got.
He looks like Jesus.
Look at that jawline. Look at that face,
clenched.
That's like when you see a mountain and the edge of the mountain look like the old man's face in New Hampshire, the craggy, like that guy's face.
Yeah.
craggy. It's a cliff. Like
Chiseled.
Yes, chiseled. It is very, very, wow, that's a jawline.
I would dive into the ocean off of that chin.
I mean, you could take shelter under his nose. Look at how gorgeous this is, though. Like, I would hang this on a wall.
I really into this.
This is really leaning into it's very Renaissance.
Very Renaissance. Trying to think what else. It's a little expressionistic because I don't know if it's just the resolution of the image, but like that background being so moody and like almost like a Turner painting, the sky.
Yes, absolutely.
Gorgeous. I'm a fan.
There are very few high res versions of this one, and there are some low res ones that have like turned the brightness up, but I like how dark this is.
Yes, I like the vibe of that. I think it lends to the charm.
All right, we've got 3 more. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
This is one of the classic, most memorable covers. Savage Thunder by Joanna Lindsay.
Oh my gosh. I was at Goodwill the other day and I picked up, because I knew we were going to record this, I was looking at the shelves. I don't think it was this exactly, but I saw a book cover 99% of the way there. This is classic.
There are people who have staged photo shoots of themselves, poses.
You have to.
People have photoshopped their faces onto this one. I mean, and that is the fobs.
I was just going to say.
That's the fobs.
You can tell.
Oh yeah, it's always in the jaw and the nose. You can just like, oh yeah, there he is.
There he is. I love it. Okay, so we have moccasin boots, a fringed leather vest on him. Oh, yeah. So did he take his shirt off and then put the vest back on?
Oh, he's so manly. He doesn't need a shirt. These are romance heroes for whom shirts are irrelevant.
Unbridled stallion in the background, a very phallic cliff, anthill. I don't know.
Amanda, you are going to die when I read you the cover copy of this one. Oh my God.
I'm so excited.
Okay. So before we get to the cover copy, not only do we have lots and lots of V's, but we have a lot of straight lines. We've got the fringe. We've got the rock formation in the background, rearing horse. There's always an animal freaking the hell out in the background.
Cacti.
Yep. Cactuses.
Spiky environment.
Yep. Yeah. I it's very suggestive of something. Oh, and he's got a gun.
Oh,
He's got a gun.
There it is.
And the back of her shirt is, of course, that deep V.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. You're not ready for the cover copy here.
Au contraire, I am more than ready.
Newly widowed after a shockingly brief marriage to an elderly British lord.
Okay.
Jocelyn Fleming still aches with the
Jocelyn Fleming.
Jocelyn Fleming, who aches with the pain of unexplored desire. Now her restless heart is leading her far from the protective bosom of polite London society to the perilous beauty of the American West and to Colt Thunder.
Colt Thunder.
That's his name.
Did his mom give him that name?
I bet she did. She knew what was going to happen. This baby looks like Fabio. He's going to grow up to be a romance novel cover hero.
He has rectangular pecs. Like they're square, like loaves of bread.
He's a Lego. He's made a Lego, this guy. Breathlessly exciting, but dangerously unpredictable. Colt is a loner. Oh God, whose Cheyenne blood burns hotter than the blistering Arizona sun. Oh boy, it's a quote unquote Indian romance.
Oh.
Jocelyn's wealth and title mean nothing to this stranger whose passion rules his actions and his heart. Side note, that's not a great choice for a partner, someone who's unable to control their emotions and have regulation. You kind of need that.
I need to know why she needs to go to the American West if she has a title and is widowed by a wealthy English lord. Like, literally, I want the setup.
To quote novelist Alicia Rye, in that setting, dick is plentiful and of low value.
That's true. This is true.
But neither the wild desert stallion nor the untouched English rose can deny their irresistible attraction. Oh my gosh.
The English rose trope. There it is.
Yep, there it is. Although she's a ginger. How well would she have been accepted? Because they got all these hang-ups about gingers being low class.
She looks like a box dye ginger. Like I don't know if it's just the res of the image. Like the color is bleeding out of her hair as I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it's definitely flaring into the sunset. Her hair is the color of a sunset for sure.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
There's another book that I have read a whole bunch of times, and I can't remember if it's The Lion's Lady or The Black Lion. I think it's The Lion's Lady, where the heroine is a blonde woman who's adopted into a tribe, and she might have been Comanche. I'd have to look it up. But it turns out that she's the secret princess story. She's secretly the heir to a great fortune and is brought over to England to be part of society and to have her come out. And it's like, wow, this is so problematic.
So many different directions.
Yes. It's layers of yikes. And yet, as a lost princess story, it's a very popular older romance.
How do you feel about like the tropification of novels, especially like now where we're marketing books just based on tropes? Like Lost Princess, we have Indian romance here. Like, I don't know.
I think I have to correct myself because people are going to start screaming at me.
To be clear, I don't think there's anything wrong with these tropes, but I like to figure them out for myself. I don't love to be sold a book based on, oh, it's enemies to lovers. You'll love it.
Yes. I have a lot of thoughts on that. So the book I'm talking about is The Lion's Lady by Julie Garwood. I just had to make sure I had that right because someone was going to be like, so I can't believe it. Remember that because I love Julie Garwood. I think that what is happening right now is that we have a number of things converging in terms of book marketing. Right now, it's very heavily marketed with the tropes up front. Like a lot of the promo is, there's only one bed, enemies to lovers, a chance. Like they're marketing books very heavily on the tropes, especially online. That is because the audience that has, I think in part, the audience that has read fanfic and has tagged all their fics is now looking at pubbed.
That's such a good point.
Traditionally published things and be like, oh, well, what are the tags on this? Just as we have the more common usage of content warning and trigger warnings, we also have an increased use of tags indicating what kind of story this is. And it's useful because BISAC codes are not very specific. Like I could be talking about contemporary romance and you could be talking about contemporary romance, but when
it's two different things.
Right. You could be meaning like a dark mafia romance, sex trafficking. And I'm talking about something really very, wholesome and on the coast with some roses and some geraniums on the cover, maybe a rocking chair or an Adirondack chair. There was a period when they all had Adirondack chairs.
Yes. That's so, okay.
Very evocative, right?
Yeah.
So because those two terms are the same thing but mean different things, readers have developed a lot more specific language. And part of that is tags and part of that is nicknames. And, we call this old school romance because it's very different from what's being published now. Like you could go back and read these and I can give you all of the warnings, but you just have to be prepared that this is going to be holistically different from what you read right now because the genre has changed. So like the trope forwardness is useful in terms of readers communicating with each other because you know what you're going to get. And readers now are very, I think, discerning in terms of the very specific things that they want, which awesome. The downside is that I think that books are being created based on the tags, like starting with the marketing and then working backwards.
Right.
In a lot of ways, that creates what we call no plot, just vibes.
No plot, just vibes. Sure.
Because there's no stakes.
Yeah, that's so smart, though. I'm really glad you explained the fanfic angle. Yeah, the fanficification.
That is my theory.
Because I was ready to chalk it up to like a decline in, media literacy.
Oh, that too.
Regular literacy, take your pick. But that gives me hope. It's just like people's tastes and how we approach these stories is changing. But yeah, I will say like there are some books recently that I've read. I can tell like, I'm not going to say no plot, just vibes, but we included certain plot points just to hit a check mark.
Yes,
on a trope.
I liken it, you will understand this analogy very well, thank you. I liken it to driving on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. You drive from rest stop to rest stop to rest stop, right? Like,
yeah.
Are you at Breezewood or are you at Carlisle? Like there's
Blue Mountain?
a lot there. If you've been on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, there's not a lot there. You're driving from stop to stop. And so
no plot, just vibes.
No plot, just vibes. And sometimes, there is a plot to the Turnpike. The plot is it's bad. Is it's never finished. Is they're always going to fix a part of it, right? But like you start with the tropes, so you move the characters from trope to trope and sometimes without the underlying tension that creates the reason for that trope. Like if you just met and there's only one bed, okay, well then sleep head to foot. You'll live, be comfortable for your night's sleep. But if you're like secretly carrying massive horny pants and suppressing all of your unresolved sexual tension, well then there's only one bed is a whole other thing. I also think that the fanfic influence on romance, especially the marketing, indicates a very specific kind of it's a very specific kind of literacy that comes with the taxonomy. So the tropes and the elements and the things that are labeled that this book has, including the content warnings and the trigger warnings, that's all a taxonomy mixed with literacy.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different way of talking about books. It's fascinating.
Yeah, dare I say it's the best genre for that reason. It's a rich text in and of itself.
Absolutely. Especially if you're looking at a particular slash pairing that isn't in the original, and it's nothing but tags of all the different ways these characters' tension can be recast. We're all just recycling the same tension,
Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, thank you. That actually gives me so much to chew on. Wow.
That's my theory. That's my theory anyway. So I got two more, and we'll end with my favorite. This is another Joanna Lindsey. Joanna Lindsey had the greatest covers, I think. The covers. I think this is the same guy as A Rose in Winter. Maybe they increased his chin.
He got a haircut, yeah.
I have to tilt my head all the way to the side to check out that guy's face, but he's very craggy. It was all the same model. I can find his name. This is the one where he is butt naked. And he is basically thrusting his naked man parts betwixt her bosoms. Like he is straight up humping her sternum.
As you do.
As you do. So what do you see?
What do I see? Whew, tan lines once again. She's a little bit tied up in her flowing garments, I will say, which I don't know if that's a plot point. Her hand almost looks like it's bound behind her back. Oh my. Tender is the storm. Okay. I see 80s blue eyeshadow.
Oh, very, yes.
And drawn on brows, which I'm a big fan of here. I can't get over the thrusting of the groin into the chest. I'm sorry.
I mean, haven't you always wanted to have your sternum dressed in such a manner?
Above a canyon?
Yeah, right on the edge of the canyon. Stage just
and it looks pretty breezy. I'd be worried about toppling over.
But it's interesting because his hair doesn't seem to be moving much except for the top.
Mm-hmm.
But her hair and her dress and the bush behind her and the skirt, they are all blowing off the side. Like his thrusting is disturbing the wind velocity in the air.
Oh, he's an immovable force. When a man's passion explodes into violence, oh God, only a woman's desire can turn it to love. See, another thing you could never write and publish today. Or you could if you're Colleen Hoover. You just have to package it in a floral dust jacket.
Yep.
But, wow. I love her little hair ornaments that are still in place. See that? She's got a little crown or something.
It's like 3 little medallions, right?
Yeah, in her hair.
So this is the original cover.
Okay.
And it was very controversial because,
that's a sex act. That's what's happening here.
Yes, exactly. The problem was actually his ass. The problem was his butt.
No.
There are more cover versions, which I'm about to show you of this cover. We had a guest post from Steve Amadown, who's a romance historian and former librarian at the Brown Popular Culture Library. And this was painted by Robert McGinnis, who passed away earlier this year. And he was the one who painted this one and many other of the original Lindsay covers. He also did a lot of pulp movie posters like Live and Let Die. The original Breakfast at Tiffany's poster with the colored border and Audrey Hepburn on one side, that was also him.
I'm going to pull that up.
Isn't that incredible? Then Barbarella, the original movie art, was also this artist. He had a very, very long and
it's very campy. I'm into it.
Extremely campy.
Yeah.
So first, I will show you that we had some controversy here because of the naked man ass.
Yes.
So the first option that was explored was to cover his ass with a coast-to-coast bestseller.
Oh, fantastic.
Right? The naked man butt was it's like a peen on prime time. We can't do that.
Well, and it's not even on the original. I'm assuming this is the original, the first one you showed me, where he's slightly in the bush. He's not even
a little bit of
full side butt.
Sage is just cupping his buttock.
But that edit reminds me, I mentioned Bachelor in Paradise earlier. Mm-hmm. I think we were off mic. There was a couple seasons ago on the main season of The Bachelor, ABC, now owned by Disney, or their conglomerate, I don't know. ABC, parent company Disney, decided that women in bikini bottoms was too risque. So they painted on additions to the women's bikini bottoms on as it aired. So there's a whole season of The Bachelor where you can find like women with painted on like diaper butts, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what that's reminding me of.
Is this
But the heaving bosoms is okay.
Oh yeah, the bosoms are fine. The bosoms, the open mouth, all of all of it. Having 3 arms, fine. Naked man butt, no. Is the Bachelor with the original cut? Is that like the butthole cut of Cats, where allegedly
almost? Yeah, I can send it to you. It's really just like MS Paint level.
Oh, love.
I'll send you some images. Yeah.
Why even bother? I think there are so many parallels to now and the heyday of the Hays Code and the way that our media is being restricted and our culture is being limited in what we see, similar to
regressing. Yeah,
we're regressing. We're going to just be like, I have this great idea. This is code. It's the Hays Code. We should bring it back. Like, that's next. Mm-hmm. The worst version of this cover, as sent to me by Steve Amadown, is this one. They gave him a Speedo.
They painted on a Speedo.
Yes, it's Bachelor treatment.
They did. They gave him the Bachelor edit.
Oh,
wow.
Incredible, right?
That's really good. Very period accurate, I will say.
Yes, ye oldie banana hammock. Very prevalent in the 80s, in the 1880s in the West, yes.
Oh, my.
And if you look, they
went along the shadow.
Yeah, they just went with the shadow of his hip and painted it. Isn't that incredible?
So now it's okay.
Yeah, now it's fine. But the idea of naked man buttocks was just startling.
Well, listen, I went to school in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, and I remember we read Romeo and Juliet, and we watched the 1968 movie, which...
Boobies in that.
Boobies. The problem that parents had with it was not the boobies. It was the actor who looked like Zac Efron showing butt was the reason they wanted us to not watch that movie. The boobies were fine, even though the actress was underage, I believe.
Yep. I also remember when it was scandalous on NYPD Blue for Jimmy Smits or David Caruso to show their butt. Like, oh my God, there was butt on primetime. And I'm like, what? Okay.
And now, look how far we've come. We have Jason Isaacs Full Frontal on HBO Max.
Right? We got dick for days. But McInnes painted a lot of these, painted this one, and you can see the similarity in style to, where is it? When Love Awaits.
Yeah, this one's very,
That's also him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I believe this is also him.
Could be the same model too.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one guy.
Like I said, I love a draped woman.
She's just drapey. We got a drapey woman over here. We got a drapey woman over here. Lots of drapery. This guy's wearing a drapery. All right, we're going to end with my favorite cover. The co-founder of Smart Bitches is Candy Tan. She and I co-founded the site in 2005 and had no idea it was going to come like a big deal. We were like, oh, no one's going to read this. We were wrong. It's like you jumping into the Royals commentary.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no one's going to see this. This is Candy's all-time favorite.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
Danelle Harmon's The Beloved One.
Okay.
When you ask an art historian, she's like, oh.
She better be the beloved one if she's on her knees in a rose garden.
No, it's him. I'm pretty sure it's him because he's the wild one. But I will double check. I think it is. I think this is one of those, brotherly series. Okay. Yes, it's the de Montfort brothers.
Okay.
The Beloved One. That's Englishman. Wounded in battle, Englishman Charles de Montfort. This takes place in the 1770s, 1780s.
Sure, why not?
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
I think this is a revolutionary, maybe. Either way.
Oh,
yeah.
Not with that color dress.
No, definitely not. And those pleats on that sleeve.
Okay, sorry, I got to get past the fashion history.
You know what? You can bring in the fashion history because I've got questions about the pleated sleeve on her dress there. Like, what?
I like it. I'm into it. But I have questions on placement in the world if this is 1770s.
Well, we had that one where he was in the 1400s and she was in the 1700s. I mean, we can make this work.
You're right.
We've got people having sex with blue aliens. We can make a little time travel work now.
I don't know. These aren't really her colors either. She's very, raven haired. She's got the red lips.
Winter.
She needs to get her colors done.
She definitely needs to have her scarves laid. Absolutely.
I'm thinking a fuchsia might be.
There's only a tiny little bit of fuchsia on this cover.
I think we need more fuchsia.
She needs more fuchsia. I do love that color, but I think fuchsia would have made her features pop more.
Wow. And he does not look thrilled to be here. He looks
so annoyed.
Yeah.
Like look at the tension grip on his hand.
Yeah.
Like look at the tension grip where he's gripping her arm. He looks annoyed.
Girl,
like he's about
get
to
up.
throw her off of him. Like, get off me.
Girl, stand up. You're better than this.
So that's Amy Layton. She is a desperate plight, and his heart is profoundly moved by this plight, but the noble British lord is already taken. Lures him away from past loyalties to the crown and fiancé with the golden rapturous promise of love and happily ever after. Okay.
Toxic.
Yeah, Amy's long prayed for someone to enter her life who would take her away from the drudgery imposed upon her by her cruel, unloving stepfamily. So she's dark-haired Cinderella.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she needs him to enter her life.
That is among the other things that should be entered here. I guess the columns are
yes, that's what I was going to say next. Right through the middle of her skull, that one.
She's got dick on the brain.
Literally
And figuratively.
Yes.
And look at his shirt, unbuttoned, tucked in. Deep V.
Drapey towards her mouth.
This is a draped hero. This is both a draped heroine and a draped hero.
Oh my goodness. And a blonde hero. Have we seen a blonde hero yet today?
No, I think they've all been dark haired. We got a lot of redheads, but I don't think we got any blonde dudes.
That's very rare, isn't it?
Yeah. Usually got a lot
the dark and handsome is the one that's going to get the girl in the end, typically.
Yep. 100%. That is definitely the case.
Breaking all the tropes.
And she's in a submissive position.
Very much so.
He is literally looking down his nose at her.
Sneering, I would say.
And it's a little suggestive.
Quite. She's like leaning on him as she's like kneeling as well. It's not a powerful, I'm going to take the reins and show you the time of your life kneel. It's didn't you say she's desperate?
She's got drudgery, man. She's got drudgery from her stepfamily. I'm trying to zoom in. Look at the size of that belt buckle. That's long as her hand. You know what they say about a man with a big belt buckle. He's got
belt
a weightlifting belt on. One of those belts that keeps your kidneys from popping out your back. That's what and look at the amount of fabric in this sleeve.
Yeah, it's sumptuous.
He's wearing a circus tent. He's probably related to the guy. He's related to the guy from Rose and Winter who's got his. You know how like the secret to the universe is that you got to have your towel. These guys got to have their drapery.
Yeah.
These people they just need their drapery.
I'm upset it's not giving Mr. Darcy like straight out of the pond drapery. Right. I need to see some nipple through that white shirt.
There's hardly any nipple shadow. And if he was wet, it would definitely improve things.
Wow. Yeah. Compositionally, not the strongest that we've looked at today, but there's a story being told here.
Yes.
Sure.
This is a cover where there's almost as much background as there is person. Like in most of these.
And it's in focus too, which you don't always see.
Everything is relevant, apparently. And they are less than half. The couple is less than half of the total real estate. But he's very erect. He is erect. The poles are erect. Everything.
The pillars. Yeah.
I wonder what that means. Do you wonder what that means?
Erect, but not happy about it.
No, not happy about it. So those are the covers. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I hope you.
That was a journey. Much like on The Bachelor. Can you tell I love The Bachelor? We can't describe the process as a process. We have to call it a journey.
It's a journey. Unless you're on Love is Blind, then it's an experiment.
I have not ventured over to Love is Blind purely for the time commitment. Isn't it on 6 days a week, 5 days a week?
I had to watch the entire second season for a podcast that I was on. I had a podcast with Alicia Rye called Love Struck Daily. It was like 10-minute like happy love story. I did an episode of about Love is Blind, and she made me watch it. I am not a reality show person. My second-hand embarrassment is way too strong.
Sure.
But it was really something.
Yeah. And that's why I love Bachelor, because it's like the OG and Bachelor in Paradise. Again, they're microcosms of what's happening on a larger scale with dating and gender politics. That's why I love them.
For sure.
And if The Bachelor keeps going on hiatus, I might transition to a different show eventually. But for now, they are keeping me fed.
I mean, there's enough seasons.
I did send you The Bachelor painted on butts. to your
Oh,
email.
thank you. I appreciate that. I add that to the show notes. So, what were your impressions of all of these covers? Did it make the art history part of your brain go, ooh?
It scratched an itch for sure. The color compositions I'm really into because the fuchsia, of course, but I love the color combos we come up with when we're diverting from the fuchsia. I like a yellow dress, I've learned on these covers. That really pops. And yeah, my my penchant for a drapey woman stands.
Listen, if you like drapey women, old school romance will keep you fed.
Yep.
A lot of it.
I need to start buying these paperback romances again. So I do the events for the Midtown Scholar Bookstore in Harrisburg. Do you know we do not have a romance section because the book buyers and the managers are all men.
Yeah.
And they don't see the need. So since I've come on, I think I've been there for about 4 years, going on 4 years now. We've started participating in Bookstore Romance Day.
Yay!
And doing pop-ups of romance tables and tropified a little bit of our sections for some of those. But next on my list is a dedicated romance section because right now it's just they go into fiction.
Well, if money is what speaks to them, you can tell them that in the past few years, more than 100 romance-only bookstores have opened.
Yes, and we've talked about it, and we had Julia Quinn a couple years ago. I got to interview her. That was a highlight of my life. And we talked about, it's the biggest seller of the publishing industry. It's what's keeping more academic pursuits afloat because romance readers will always buy books. So that's my next crusade is this dedicated section.
If you need me to file an amicus brief about this, things to say.
Yeah.
But it's money. It's money. And also the other thing about bookstores that's so interesting to me is that they are becoming destinations that have their own aesthetic where you want to take pictures of it and of yourself in it. It is itself a set. We all have a set in our houses.
That's what we do best. I don't know if you've ever been to the Scholar.
I have not.
It's so gorgeous. It's in an old department store, movie theater that we've converted. Well, not 20 years ago, they converted it. It is a destination. We were Publishers Weekly's Bookstore of the Year in 2023.
That's so cool.
I purely think because of the vibes. And we host the Harrisburg Book Festival every year. So we just announced our 2025 lineup. And we do a poster every year. We commission a poster from an artist. And this is the first year, I think we've really nailed the vibe because people are asking for t-shirts and they're asking to take home the poster. And I'm I'll have to see if we can license this.
Merch.
Yeah, get on the merch train. So, but yeah, I love a bookstore as a destination. My favorite thing to do when I'm in the bookstore is sit and listen to all of the first dates that I can tell are happening. And it's usually a man showing a woman around. And the cringiest part of it for me is always, if they know our store, if they've been in before, we have an early edition of Mein Kampf by Hitler.
Oh, this is not your, no. God.
It was published here in Pennsylvania and Hitler actually sued the publishing house for copyright. So there's not very many of them left and we have it in a glass case, but men come down to show their dates this book and they don't know that story and they're just look, Hitler. So if you do make the bookstore your destination, maybe read up on the history of that book before you show it to your date.
I am entirely made of cringe at this point.
Sorry, you did say you have secondhand embarrassment. I'm so sorry.
No, guys, what are you trying to say here?
What's the point? Yeah.
Do they get a second date?
Is it a litmus test? I don't know. Yeah, because it's really fun because our little area, I'm only in there 1 day a week at this point. Our area where we have our office space set up, it's just behind some very tall bookshelves. So people don't know that we're there, but we can hear everything that's going on. And the dates are my favorite part to listen in on.
Honestly, there are Facebook groups and private chat threads of people just I want to date on this guy. Here's what happened. This is, what was it during 2020? West Elm Jeff or somebody went West Elm Lance. I forget his guy's name. But he was the guy from West Elm and all these women were oh my God, we're all dating the same bro. Do you think that there's a group chat or a Facebook group? Did you go on a guy that showed you a first edition of Mein Kampf? And all they're oh my God, yes. What?
There's gotta be. There has to be. I think there's an Are We Dating the Same Guy, Central PA. So
yep.
Yeah.
Just go to that group and search Mein Kampf.
Search.
See what happens. Because I wouldn't give somebody a second date if they were all excited to show me a first edition of that.
I would get the ick immediately.
If you were bringing me to show me the Speedo painted on backside of that,
sign me up.
I will go on a second date.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm married. I'm not dating anybody, but like seriously, I would be in.
Take notes, fellas.
That's right. I always ask this question. Please. What books are you reading that you might want to tell people about?
So, gosh, what am I reading? I'm trying to get through the second of the new Nora Roberts series. The Inheritance, I think, was the first one.
Yeah.
And the second book came out, I think, last year. The third one, I need to get to the third one. It's coming out this fall. The second book has bad middle book syndrome.
You know what? That happens a lot, though.
Yeah, and it could have been a duology, but I think her publishers probably made it into a trilogy for
Or is a trilogy kind of girl
purchase, right? So, but the plot is great, and it's. Have you read this one?
I read The Inheritance. Bride, Ghost Bride, creepy ass.
Big manor that she inherits from a long lost relative. I'm very into it, but the middle book, they're kind of just planning a party for most of it to open the house to the community and piss off the ghost.
Piss off, ghost.
I'm slogging through it. I want to get to the third one, which is my motivation. So the plot's great in the first one. The middle one, I think you can skim. But I will also say I'm also rereading the Emily Wilde's series.
Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies.
And the third one of that also just came out. They're my comfort books. I love those books. Compendium of Lost Tales. That's the last one. So I'm rereading the new one. They're so delightful.
And they're so good in audio.
Yes, that's how I am listening to them right now.
They are so good in audio.
The voice actress is very, very good.
The thing about Nora's trilogy is there have been a few where I have loved book 2 and could take or leave book 1. And there are books where I had nothing to say about book 2 and I was jonesing for book 3.
That's me right now. I know where this is going. I know book 2 is just going to be more exposition. Give me book 3 right now. I will go feral for it as soon as I finish book 2.
Yep. And you get arcs, right? Like you get NetGalley links and stuff?
Sometimes, yeah. I haven't gotten any Nora ones yet. Is there an arc for the third one right now?
I do not know. They're very selective.
They have to be.
With arcs. I once, ages ago, when she was writing the Bridal Quartet, do you remember that?
I do, yes.
Okay,
My mom had those.
I loved those so much, but I got an arc and it was numbered. It was hand numbered.
Yeah, that's coming back too.
And it was a paper arc. And I'm like, what do you think that I'm going to do with it?
They don't want you to sell it.
You're going to sell it. And I'm like,
because they can trace it back to you then.
Exactly.
That's coming back as well. I saw someone else just do that.
Not a thing that I've ever done.
So I'm that's my comfort cozy reading right now. What am I reading? Oh, I do have an arc I just got by Gareth Russell, who's a British royal historian, I want to say. He wrote a book called The Palace about Hampton Court. And his new one is The Six Loves of James the First and Sixth. So it explores his homosexuality.
Oh, shocking.
So I'm going to pick that one up this week.
I have 2 recommendations for you.
Okay.
One, if you're looking for cozy, the second book in this sort of world came out, but the first one is outstanding. It is Sangu Mandana's The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches.
I've been looking at the cover of this one.
And the second one is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, and they are fabulous. They are quirky and cozy and loving. And this is something I've been thinking a lot about. There's a podcast going on right now with Rob Morrow and Janine Turner where they're recapping Northern Exposure, which just got to Amazon Prime. It's called Northern Disclosure. And in one of the first episodes, the producer was on and was talking about how you can get away with some absolutely banana crackers behavior in the world of Northern Exposure as long as there's no malice behind it. Even if you are being a rank asshole, the minute there's malice, then there's a problem. And this is a small society in a small town, allegedly in Alaska. It was actually shot in the Pacific Northwest. There's sort of a vibe to places where the land can kill you if you're stupid. And that's permeates this. The Sangu Mandana books have that same fundamental, we are going to keep trying even though it's hard because we care about each other. Things are hard, but we care about each other and we're going to look after each other. And that sort of vibe is so enjoyable. And then it's quirky and there's stakes. It's on the New York Times list, I think, for 2 weeks now. It's great.
Just came out. Yeah. Okay. I'll see if we got it. I'm going to go to the bookstore tonight. We have, I'm so bad at names.
It's okay. Me too. Which is really bad. During my job is to recommend books. I'm like, okay, so it's yellow. Got this girl and she's kind of draped. Yeah.
Okay, we have Katie Yee tonight. Maggie, or a man and a woman walk into a bar. She's coming into the bookstore. So I will look out for the Sanju Mandana books while I'm there. Okay.
There's a documentary series called Windsor, A Royal Year. It is 4 seasons at Windsor Castle.
Okay.
If you find it on YouTube, the resolution and the fashions are going to be, but they show you what's going on at Windsor Castle, spring, summer, fall, and winter. What are the people who work there doing? There's one where they get ready for a state banquet and you watch them measure where utensils go. My favorite is the royal clock watcher or the clock keeper. He has to go through the whole goddamn place and change the clocks back manually at daylight savings and daylight standard. And at one point he's on camera with the camera.
So many clocks.
And he gets lost. I don't know where I am.
Oh my God.
I mean, we'll find a door eventually. And you can hear the camera people being like, we're fucking lost in this castle. It's very old and it is like total kissing.
Yeah.
But it's about the people who run Windsor Castle, and you would find a lot to enjoy in it.
Incredible. Yeah, I'll watch that for research purposes. I'll purchase it as a tax write-off if I put some of it in my book. Yeah, because for the book I'm writing, it's kind of a guidebook or like a field guide to Royal World. So the stuff like that is so valuable, hearing from people who work for the royals, because it is an international institution. It takes a lot of people to keep that ship afloat.
Oh, yeah.
Fascinating. Thank you so much for the recs. This is the best podcast to be on. You get tailored recommendations at the end.
The whole job, right? Thank you. You have been so generous with your time. Thank you for that.
Happy to do it.
Where can people find you if you wish to be found?
Oh, so many places. So Instagram and TikTok, I am at Matta, Matta of fact. So _of fact. I also have my Substack newsletter, which is called The Fascinator. That's bi-weekly, meaning 2 times a week. So royal news, royal history, deep dives, just anything that strikes my fancy. Same thing goes for the Art of History podcast. Anything that strikes my fancy in art history is fair game on there. I very rarely theme out a season. It's kind of just vibes, but like rigorously researched vibes. And then Off With Their Headlines podcast is the last thing I have to plug. That's my show with Meredith Constant. That's every week on Thursdays, wherever you get your podcasts, if you like royal news and pulling threads in the media.
So the last Art of History that you did, I have to say I loved the Witchcraft in Art episode. That was one of my favorites.
It's really fun. I'll theme out Halloween episodes usually. I like to pick a theme for that as like an extravaganza.
Yeah. But it's not like there's not enough pictures of creepy shit.
No, I have so many. I think this year I might either do clowns or like skeletons in art. Yeah. So.
Ooh. Dig it. Thank you so much. I've had the greatest time. I could talk to you for like another hour. Thank you so much for being so generous with me. I am very grateful.
No, I loved it. I'll come back anytime if there's new batshit covers or, happy to do it.
We could do a whole another hour on the cartoon covers and what they're doing and not doing.
The rom-com covers. Yeah. That's
a whole lot to explore there in terms of messaging and flat lay and also iconography. My theory is that those are designed for icon size. They're designed to look good in little tiny size.
You're right. They don't quite look, they do look too like stretched when they're on book cover.
Yeah,
dimensions.
They're much like books are being written to trope. The covers are being designed to how the most common way you're going to see it especially if you're reading digital, which is weird because people younger than me, they don't want digital, they want print.
Right.
And trade, not mass market, not mass market. We don't want any of that anymore.
Nope.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you for all the hot takes. I'm going to be doling these out when I'm in the bookstore this week.
And that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Thank you tremendously to Amanda Matta for her time. She was so generous in all of her analysis and how much fun this was. I could not have asked for a more entertaining 700th episode, and I hope you think so too. I will have links to all of the books that we discussed, including all of the covers. Do not worry. And I will have links to the various sources that we referred to, and of course, all of the podcasts that we mentioned, because what's more podcasts except a very good thing, right? As always, I end with a terrible joke. Now, this joke comes from stock initial 4460, and then the follow-up is from CompuWizza1. And I'm deeply grateful to both of these people because this is so bad. I know you're going to tell literally, actually, factually everyone. I can see the future. I know it's true. All right. Did you hear about the baker who has red hair? Yeah, baker who has red hair. He was a gingerbread man. And listen, it is really hard to buy bread from him because no one can catch him. It's so bad. I love it so much. Like literally, this is what it looks like when I tell jokes into the microphone. I am deeply, deeply amused and having a very good time. He's a gingerbread man. On behalf of everyone here, I think I'm alone. Actually, so no cats. Not even a cat under my chair? Nope, none cats. So on my behalf, it's just me. On behalf of me, I wish you the very best of reading. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you back here next week. And in the words of my favorite retired podcast, Friendshipping, thank you for listening. You're welcome for talking.